Hello, hello. We are here, Visokii Entertainment. Brady and Chuck.
Chuck. Hey, man.
All right. We're here. Charlie, where's your webcam, bro?
It's too dark in here. Wouldn't really work.
VE. Okay, well, you guys are going to be able to stare at my beautiful, luscious beard.
And
I'm thinking about just growing it out until my administration yells at me. How long do you think I can get away with
it? Tomorrow.
Middle school music teacher, they never come around here. It's getting kind of bushy, man.
Gotta grow that Eric Rowan beard, man.
Dude, I need to. All right, so we had some Big Brother tonight. We had our first live eviction. So we had some POV updates. We had a live eviction. First of all, I want to start by saying hello to everyone in chat. Barry, Veracity, Melissa, Diana, Swoofty. Everyone's in here.
Welcome.
Swoofty is upset. Barry says first. Barry was indeed first. Veracity says, so good to see you guys. So good to see you as well, Veracity. We already got 11 people in here. Yeet. Super tan in. Dude, Charlie, I don't know about you, man. I get all giddy when I see all the same people we're hanging out with over the summer.
Of course, man. Gotta love the Big Brother crew.
Nice, man. It's true. We're like our own little community. So, and a little update. I am still planning on making our Discord chat so we can talk live during shows. I've had a very big week. Charlie, I have a rehearsal from 10 to 4 tomorrow, and then on Sunday I'll be over in Melbourne getting fitted for a tux for the groomsmen thing. So
there you go, man.
What's on the slate for your weekend, Charlie?
You know, work tomorrow, and then schoolwork, and then I'll try and catch some feeds action. Maybe we'll do an update if we can, if there's anything that happens. It sounds like the POV and eviction are happening next episode, so I don't know how much is even going to happen on feeds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's HOH, but wouldn't that happen tonight? And I'm going to be asleep, so I don't know.
I have no idea. Fast for you, man. When's the next episode? I know they said there was one Monday. There's one before that.
No, I think we should know this, but I'll check right now.
Go ahead. You look it up. Oh, Melissa said it says message retracted. BBC Big Brother crew.
Sunday there's an episode, so that must be head of household.
Okay, Sunday and then Monday. All right. So let's start by talking about the POV, and then we'll kind of go POV eviction. Then we'll back it up and we'll talk about the gameplay and storyline and stuff like that. So Power Veto happened. It was the spelling competition that we end up seeing. That we ended up seeing every season, pretty much. Shannon went in on it, completely destroyed everyone in the POV competition. The big storyline going in was that Mark's name got pulled, and he said he was going to pull James off if he won. Everyone else is obviously playing for themselves. Keisha was going to keep the nominations in play. Something wrong with the audio on my computer. Refresh? Question mark? Sometimes, I don't know, the live streams are weird sometimes, guys. So sometimes you just have to refresh. So the longest Big Brother word in the history, as pointed out by Diana. So so Shannon spelled out the word responsibilities.
That's insane. That's going to be our thumbnail for this video.
Quite
live, you can't see that, but that's a dude. I thought, what did Steve spell, like trombonists?
Yeah.
I was like, that was insane. And then we get responsibilities.
Like I told you, man, you know that she went in with a plan. She knew. Yeah, Barry, Charlie doesn't have. Oh wait, you do have the webcam. Webcam's on now.
I moved.
He turned the light on. But yeah, so Shannon spelled a 16-letter word. Veracity says, "Way to paint a target. So unnecessary but impressive." It's true.
I'd agree 100% with that. Unnecessary.
They had 4 past winners on as a little panel in the show, and Nicole said, that she only needed 10 letters. She didn't need 16, but it's obvious she went in with a plan. And you always think about R's and I's and S and T, all the letters that she was using. You knew she was going to find a bunch of anyway. So she was probably looking up words before the season because she's a super fan. She was probably looking up words, knowing that comp was going to come up, and knowing, ooh, if I could spell responsibilities, that'd be awesome. So I think that was the plan. Swifty says, I was rooting for her, but she's playing too hard, too fast. And we will definitely touch on that when we talk about who's playing the best, who's playing the worst. You think Shannon's going to be on the block next week? We'll talk about that, Super 10. Let's get to the eviction right now, and then we'll go back, and we'll talk about our predictions and all that stuff. So Shannon ends up winning the POV. Well, now, remember, Shannon is no longer the head of household. So it's not like she was head of household and she's going to automatically keep the noms the same. In fact, Keisha and Omarosa, who are kind of stepping forward as the leaders of the 7-person alliance, the women plus Ross, I think the two of them, they weren't necessarily the leaders, but since they were the most vocal, in my opinion, it's kind of like, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I think that's what was going on, and so everyone else was like, "Sure, why not? Yeah, sure, Shannon, use the POV, and we'll put Mark up instead of Chuck." And I think that ended up rubbing Shannon the wrong way. Shannon was like, "I don't know, I just want to kind of leave him the same," and it ended up being the same. It ended up being Chuck and James staying on the block, and by a vote of 7-1, the only vote going against James was Omarosa in kind of not a last-minute blindside, but the day before it was decided. So it was definitely a very quick process, just like the whole season is anyway. But But yeah, Chuck Liddell is the first one to go home. My boy Chuck, my boy Chaweez went home. What do you think about that, Charlie?
Yeah, he came off as a genuine guy. You could tell he was excited about the game. Lost my train of thought. There was a thing that threw me off.
Choo-choo.
But yeah, it was definitely a blindside, I think, to Chuck, Omarosa, and Keisha, right? I think the three of them were they didn't know what was happening.
I think that Chuck wasn't as engaged in the game, so Chuck was kind of like, I don't even think Chuck.
You heard him, man. He wants to be on Amazing Race, so that's his show.
Yeah, he said that him and his wife want to be on the Amazing Race. That would be great.
He'll probably get on that now.
Yeah, but 7-1, Veracity says that's a brutal blindside. Diana, I agree. We'll talk about that. Super 10. Let's go back to the POV comp. I cringed so hard when Ariadna spelled warning as weighing. W-A-I-N.
That was kind of goofy, yeah.
She is just feeding all the stereotypes. It's awful. So, yeah, Chuck Liddell ends up being the first to go home by a vote of 7-1. Last-minute flip. Basically, Shannon was feeling a little bullied, started talking to Ross about it, and Ross was the one that planted the seed of, like, why do you have to do what they want to do? So let's talk about what I thought was the biggest point, the reason that why the flip happened. So Shannon was outside with Omarosa, and they were just talking about Shannon's decision to use the POV or not. And Shannon got very upset, started crying, stuff like that. And Omarosa, in an attempt to comfort her, was trying to give her the whole, Keisha doesn't want me to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you that she already talked to Chuck. So Omarosa thought that that was going to persuade Shannon to use the veto on Chuck. That way the alliance felt better, or ended up being safer in the long run. When in reality, that made Shannon even more uneasy against Keisha, the current head of household. And Omarosa's plan ended up backfiring big time, because then all of a sudden Shannon goes and thinks, oh my God, Keisha and Omarosa are in with Chuck, and none of the rest of us are. So we need to get rid of Chuck now.
Yeah, that was, the way it was pointed out. They did a good job of showing it on TV. With this season, you could tell they're showing, besides the stuff tonight that they had to do their traditional let the past winners on and all this other stuff. But besides that, there's a lot of gameplay going on already, and it's fun.
Which was pointed out by the panel we had. So we had Ian, Derek, Nicole, and Josh on a panel, 4 past winners of Big Brother on there. I saw some people on Twitter. People were like, "Where's Andy?" And all the comments were like, no one cares about Andy. I was like, come on, man. Andy wasn't that bad. Everyone hates on Andy. I mean, look, he didn't play much of a game, but at the end of the day, he won. So got to give it to the man. So in the panel, they're talking about who they thought was playing really well and who was the biggest targets. It sounded like the panel really liked two people. They really liked Ross and they really liked Marissa. And they all thought that Shannon was playing too hard, and Ian picked James to win. Any other big points from the panel that you remember?
Not really. Josh was trying to just be Josh.
Josh is trying to make it about himself, talk about pots.
We're going to have to see him. He would have never been back had he gotten second place, but we're going to see.
Isn't that crazy to think about? That's so true, though.
He's always going to be just there. And he's a worse winner than Nicole, dude. But anyways.
It's pretty bad.
And Nicole was not a good winner.
He won because of people's hatred for Paul.
Diana, if Nicole can be there, so can Andy. That's a fact.
It's true. It's true. So let's go back. Let's talk about some other things. So Omarosa and Keisha, as I've been alluding to, they've officially made they're officially a duo. They're an alliance in and of themselves. They called themselves BGM, right? Black Girl Magic.
Yep.
So that's their thing. I personally think it's cool, and I applaud CBS for showing the conversation of them saying that they don't remember ever having two black girls on the same season of Big Brother. It's happened before, but
it just happened,
but the fact that CBS pointed it at, that the fact that they actually played that clip of those two talking about how CBS usually doesn't put two black women on the same show, I was like, you probably shouldn't want that out there. You don't want to make
yourself throwing your own.
Yeah,
you one of the bus.
Like, come on, man, you're editing yourself into the ground. But so they're officially together, and Shannon and Ross are definitely together, which I'm down with, man. Shannon and Ross, those are my 1 and 2.
Yeah, so, I got a feeling Omarosa, she's gonna turn it up to another level this next few days. It'll be cool to watch. It'll be fun.
Brassy says, I love the BGM. Too bad it might be short-lived. Yeah, it might just be playing too hard too quick. I think Keisha was playing it right, but Keisha wanted to lay low. Her whole thing was, I'm going to cook for everyone. I'm going to lay low. And all of a sudden you link up with Omarosa, and Omarosa just wants to go. There
really isn't anyone laying low, is there?
I mean, look, do you consider Meta's gameplay as laying low, or is he just clueless?
Yeah, that is true.
Or is he clueless?
It looks like he's having fun, but at the same time he wants to go home, so I don't know what's going on with him. Because he looks like he's having fun carrying around that owl. What's Orwell the owl or something like that?
Yeah, so we had a little conversation going on about Meta. Bucks fan says Meta may be the worst Big Brother player ever. He has no idea what's going on. Veracity says Meta's the new Josh, but more likable. Connor says I'm loving Meta on my TV screen. I like having Meta.
I like him, yeah.
During his live vote, because he just didn't have any idea how it happened, even though it was explained to him what he needs to do. He literally this is you be Julie, man. I'll be Meta.
She didn't even get a word.
I vote Chuck.
Pretty much. Ask wife to be his Valentine, and then I vote Chuck. And
his mic wasn't even on for the first half of him asking her to be his Valentine. You just see him holding up a piece of paper and just saying something. But it's Julie talking. All right, let's cut over to Meta, and he's talking. She's like, "Oh, hello, Meta. I vote Chuck." Stands up.
True. Marissa is laying pretty low. Thanks, guys. That is true.
Yeah, Marissa's laying low as well.
She's laying low.
And actually, Ariadna's laying really low too.
That is true.
Kind of forget she's there.
There's so many. It's gonna be fun. It's crazy. We got a really good season. It's only gonna be.
Diana says so. Keisha and Shannon can't play HOH.
I think Shannon can.
Shannon can. Shannon is allowed to. Keisha can't, but so Super 10 says I have a question. Who do you want to win the next HOH? I'll throw it to you first, Charlie.
I want James. I want him to win it. I feel like it'd be awesome going from the block out the door pretty much the entire time he's been there, and then all of a sudden it flips the night before and he goes and wins HOH. I feel like that'd be cool.
I think for TV's sake, it would be hilarious if Shannon won again and put up Omarosa and Keisha this time around. I mean, James winning. I was gonna say James as well, and I think it's a little too early.
That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, because or let's say like one of the people that flipped. So let's say Marissa won. Would she have the balls to go put up Omarosa and Keisha, or do you think that she would backpedal and fall back into the alliance with them and then put up 2 guys, whatever?
True. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, who was the argument? It was Brandy and Omarosa, right? Where she had that DR line with the shoes. That was awesome
of all time. I still don't like her. I still think Brandy's useless. You talk about laying low, Brandy. She's useless too. But no. So there was a little bit of an argument.
I'll give it to her. I be pleasantly surprised.
Pretty much, Brandy is used to being the alpha in every situation, and Omarosa is the alpha in every situation, and except in the White House heat. And then so Omarosa and Brandy got into it a little bit. Brandy was trying to speak her mind. Omarosa shut her down real quick. And then Brandy was wearing Omarosa's heels walking around, and she was in the DR, and she dropped the line, "She's my bitch. I'm wearing her shoes. That makes her my bitch." Oh, my God.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
It's like, oh, my God.
Okay.
Oh, and then the other big thing is James and Ariadna are wearing baby outfits. The only thing I could think of, man,
my
I don't
dog.
know why my mind went there, but literally, dude, that's a kink for some people. Some people out there are getting off to this.
Oh, my God.
You know it's true. You know it's true.
I'm making a citizen's arrest. I'm calling the police. Something's going down.
You know there are some really odd, like 50-year-old women out there been watching it that just see James in that baby outfit, and they're getting
or
they're busting out the red wine tonight, boys.
Oh my God. Hey, man, this sounds like something you might be doing, man. I'm not. Hey, do what you got to do, man.
Hey, whatever, man.
Oh God.
All right. Oh my God. Diana says, was the least entertaining person evicted tonight? No.
Chuck. I mean, he didn't really add much, but neither do a couple others. I just thought he was kind of goofy. That's why I liked him.
Yeah, same. I think Chuck he could have been one of those people that slides by and then just starts winning comps out of nowhere. I'm gonna back up in the chat a little bit. So Melissa says Omarosa is probably losing her mind right now. Absolutely. But Keisha was verbally like shook. Whereas Omarosa just kind of stood there. She was like that meme with the dog in the middle of the kitchen with the whole thing on, with the whole house on.
Oh yeah, dude. When it's all burning, everything's fine.
This is fine.
Oh yeah.
That was Omarosa.
Memes, man.
Keeping it cool. So who do you think right now is playing the best game? Diana says Ross is playing the hell out of the game. He's my pick. I think he's playing the best game right now. I'm surprised no one on the panel said that he was playing the best right now. There were a couple people that said they were rooting for Ross, but who do you think is playing the best game right now?
It'd have to be someone that's playing, and also it'd have to be Ross. I'd agree. I think Ross is playing really good. I also think that the other Mark, I feel like he's doing all right too. He had a really bad gameplay night one. We saw telling Shannon she's his target pretty much.
Mark is positioning himself with James in front of him, just like how Ross is positioning Shannon in front of him. So that's the way to do it. You know, that's two huge people right now. You've got James, Shannon, and Omarosa are the three big ones, and then you've got Keisha right behind Omarosa. You've got Ross right behind Shannon, and you've got Mark right behind James. So those three people that are right behind the big targets are the three best gameplays right now.
Agreed.
So some other people. The content on this season is fantastic, Diana says. I agree.
It's really good. We're off to a flying start. And now, we're going to get the
Swoofty brings up a good point. He says, or it might be, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's he. Are the people that are laying low that we were talking about? So Marissa, Meta, maybe Mark in some sort, Ariadna. Are they laying
loud?
Are they laying low on purpose?
I don't see that. I don't know. I think Marissa might be.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, if this is all strategy by Meta, you'd think he'd talk about it in the diary room, but he was talking about how he wanted to leave in the diary room. So I don't know.
Why do I feel like Meta's going to win the whole thing?
He could. I think they like him enough in the house. Going off these episodes.
James told Chuck that he tried to make a deal with Shannon during the HOH comp, and Meta asked, "You can do that?" Yeah, Meta's been, So
That's been enjoyable. I hope he doesn't leave or anything.
Barry says Shannon screwed up her game by not getting out James, but James is my boy, so I don't think so. If Shannon can let James know that was her decision primarily to not get him out, and that by not using the veto, that was the catalyst to get Chuck out instead of him. If she can convince them that if it would have been her playing the veto, Keisha would have put up Mark, and that there would have been no way Mark went home over James. James might work with Shannon. And I saw someone earlier in chat. I'll scroll back and see who it is. But someone was saying they really hope that James, Shannon, and Ross are all working together. And I think that is a really nice. You add in Mark, I think those four could run the entire show.
Agreed.
Barry said, what is it? He's going to get fired from his school job. Oh, after talking about what? Oh, God. Me? Nah, trust me. We're good. All right. Veracity said they might ignore Meta long enough that he makes it to Final 3. Yeah. I could definitely see it happening.
That's going to happen with one of these people we were just talking about. Ariadna, Marissa, or Meta. That could be your Final 3 for all we know.
Diana says World War III is probably going on in the house right now with Atomic Bomb Omarosa. Now, I personally think that Omarosa, she's been in politics. She knows the game. I don't think Omarosa is one that is going to blow up and start screaming at people. Because remember, these are all celebrities. These are all people that know that as soon as they leave the house, they're going to go in even bigger stars than they were before, and they're all celebrities going into it. So none of them want to hurt their public image that bad. So Barry said, I said Shannon and Ross and James would be a great trio. Yeah, so that was Barry that said that before. But you don't think Shannon's going to last. So who do you think's playing the worst game right now, Charlie?
Man. I didn't like it. I think it had to be Keisha. She got the HOH and did not make the best game moves, and now she's targeted without, and she doesn't even have a chance to win the HOH. You know, like, she didn't win it; she pulled it out of a bag, literally, and she wanted to make that move to put Mark up, which would have been. I didn't like the move. It wouldn't have worked at all in her favor. Well, actually, hindsight 20, it would have worked in her favor, but it's got to be her. She can't play an HOH, and she's a target. So
I would agree with that. I would also say I think Meta's probably playing the worst game because he's not making an attempt to actually form relationships. The only thing that he's done that's of note is the fact that he wanted to go home, that he's asking to be put on the block. So people will always go back to that. And that'll be an easy, if there's a week where there's a tough decision and no one wants to make a big move, he's the default, get him out. Where the whole house can just go on that and be like, you know what, Meta wants to leave, let's get him out. So
I think this puts James in a good spot, this happening. If James can chill for this next week, these next 2 evictions, so a week from today, if he can do that, he could be looking really good.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Veracity says even in her DR is talking about Omarosa. She's calm and collected. Yeah, she has a presence about her, that's for sure. She's feisty, but in a cool, calm, and collected way.
Show.
What?
She's a really big fan of the show. I saw Evil Dick talking about that, how they know each other and how she's really into the show.
Yep. Diana said, I agree with Charlie. Keisha's suggestion to put up Mark was just dumb and unnecessary. I agree. I completely agree. Veracity agrees as well. And
that, in turn, practically flipped the alliance on her. That disagreement.
Which is funny that they're coming to the big moves like that. Usually you see that around like in the summer when it's the week-long process and it's consistent and these people have too much time in the house. That's when you start seeing moves being overmade. That they should have just put the two guys up, said, whatever, we should all win, just leave it the same, vote one of the guys out. But the fact that Keisha week 1 felt the need to send a message to Mark and, she wanted to
that we're going to get around to him.
Because how does that logic fit with let's say, okay, everyone other than Keisha and Omarosa, anyone other than Keisha, if you're one of the other 6 people in that alliance and Keisha says, we should take Chuck off the block so that he thinks he can work with us. There's 11 people in the house. What's the point of having an 8-person alliance? 7 is already too much.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Barry says if James wins, I don't think he's going to waste his HOH on a guy who wants to leave. I would just tell Meta to self-evict. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying I don't think James would because James is looking to make a big move. But I'm saying
my guess is he'd put up Shannon and Keisha.
I'm saying if Shannon won HOH, sending home Meta would be a good idea for her right now because she can go up there, she can throw up Meta and Omarosa and be in the good graces of at least everyone in the house probably wants one of them put up. And you can always justify putting Meta on the block. So, James should use Meta as a shield like Paul used Josh. Possible. Duke of Derp says, brothers.
Yes.
Okay.
Duke.
So anything else you want to talk about the season so far, Charlie?
What in comparison, I'll ask a question to people in the chat or people in the comments if you're listening after. In comparison to our past couple years of Big Brother, how does this feel? Like, does this feel fresh? Are you enjoying this more? Is the fact that this is a sprint and not a 10-year race, are you enjoying this? Like, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm curious what people,
because it's a totally different pace, especially those that don't watch Big Brother UK or whatever. This is, like you said, it's totally different pace. We're not used to this absolute sprint. We've got another episode on Sunday. It's Friday, for crying out loud. Like,
yeah,
it's like whoa. And honestly, that's why I'm probably not going to be watching many feeds. If I might not watch no feeds. It's going so quickly that I feel like I'm fine just watching the episodes. And we were talking about this off air after we went off last night. We're saying, if we happen to see something, we see something. But if not, it's like, it's fine,
Yeah. Yeah. I'll see the occasional Twitter updates, and that's a part of being a fan. It's just, it happens.
Veracity says we cut out the beginning BS that we usually get.
Agreed.
Yeah, because normally everyone is just trying to lay low. But yeah, especially since I highly doubt that there is a person in the house that didn't at least know of one person going in. You know what I mean? It's not like Keisha didn't know of at least one of Mark McGrath, Chuck Liddell, and Meta World Peace, or Omarosa. You know what I mean? Like, everyone has at least heard of someone, so they all have these preconceived notions. Ross knew who he wanted to work with going into it, and then he realized he had made a mistake working with Omarosa, ended up finding that he could get Shannon on his side and flipped it. But, walking into it, there's usually that feeling out process that Veracity was talking about where it's just normally people are trying to feel each other out. They don't know their personalities. Everyone in that house could figure out, Melissa's personality right away.
True.
It's not hard. Diana says, I love this season so far. We have players. The season thus far has been better than the last 6 or 7 seasons.
Well, it seems like everyone's liking this much more, and that's good. It's good to see, especially after 19. Brady, we can both agree if we weren't doing this, there's a good chance we would have stopped watching. I lost so much interest at some points.
Just watching Big Brother in general?
No, just that season.
Oh, agreed. Oh yeah, the season 19, last season.
Like the final 7, man. Or it was
you guys that were around, the regulars from last season. You know that. You know that halfway through that season, there was one episode of this podcast where we just talked about like my life for like 20 minutes. We were doing a Q&A of what I do for a living for 20 minutes instead of talking gameplay because it sucked so bad in the middle of that.
It was literally Paul and friends going down until
it was literally who are Paul and Josh going to bully this week to get out. Yeah. That was the season 19. Diana says, yes, Charlie, I did stop watching. And actually, now that I think about it, we had quite a few people that are coming and watching the podcast because they didn't want to watch the show. They were just watching the podcast to figure out what happened, and that's not good when that's happening. But Kat says, I remember you sang to us. That's right, I got to sing again, man. One of these days I'll sing. Maybe they'll do an endurance comp and we'll be up for it. Verassi said dropped out near the end of the season. Verassi said people were speculating that Ross had some insider info on a few of the people coming in. Wouldn't surprise me, that's his job. So Thomas says definitely better than 19. Yes, 100. Agreed. The finale made up for the suck. I like the phrasing, Melissa. It was a big bag of suck last year, but we're on to a better and brighter future, Charlie.
Yeah, it seems like we got more players this year than last year. Paul's the only one playing. I mean, and that's kind of why I got to what it was, and now everyone's playing just about.
Oh, God, Diana says let's not forget about the discussion about cereal. Oh, God, remember I had the philosophical discussion about tricks?
Dude, didn't you go and buy these cereals?
Dude, I did. I tweeted. Look through the Visokii tweets pictures. Someone go retweet the picture of me. I think I went out and bought like Trix and Honey Bunches of Oats or something, and Apple Jacks or something.
Talking about how Matt couldn't keep the s'more cereal in the house.
Matt, dude, they stopped buying s'more cereal because he ate it too quick.
You want to talk about a game player? That's your pinnacle right there.
Hello, Beth. She says, hi, everyone. I really like this season. It's refreshing after so many seasons of what seems like little gameplay and last year's disaster. It's good to see good gaming. Agreed.
100%.
What are your predictions for who wins HOH? All right, so not who we want to win, who is going to win, Charlie. It's hard to tell without knowing what the comp's going to be, but the first one was physical. So the second one, if I had to guess, will probably be one of the elimination type things. It'll probably be more mental. So I will say I'm gonna go James.
Nice. Solid. I got a feeling, I don't know why, I have this feeling Mark's gonna win it. I don't think it's happened yet. I'm assuming it happens tomorrow.
Garrett, we don't talk about that.
Oh man. Oh man.
Fingers crossed for fresh players in BB20, says Melissa. Agreed. All right. Anyway, it's 10:36, Charlie. I got to be up at 6:30 a.m. Get ready for that rehearsal.
There you go. There it is.
I got to go take care of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders tomorrow. I'm gonna go teach them dances.
What kind of dances?
My life. Anything goes, man. Although I'm not a great romancer, you know that I'm bound to answer when you into it?
There it is. There it is.
No tunes. Melissa, she's into it. Thoughts on the jury members not being sequestered? Love it. I'll say that.
Yeah. Let them watch it.
Love it.
Chuck they shouldn't be sitting. Yeah. Chuck's gonna be home tonight. No, who knows? I don't know where they live. But yeah, take care, guys. We will see you Sunday.
Yes. So yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Like I said, show it to your dog, show it to your parrot. If you show us enough of this, maybe your parrot, or is it parakeets? Which ones can talk back, Charlie?
The one that's vegan.
All right. Your vegan bird will start saying the outro back to us.
We're ending on a vegan bird.
All right. We're out.